My name's Kim Blackburn.
All right, Kim. How did you first get involved with the OATA?
To be honest with you, I don't remember exactly. But all I do remember is that I was on the long and short term committee, and that was with Jim Moore. And other than that, everything's kind of a little bit of a blur with it.
Are you currently on any committees or?
Yes, right now I'm with the legislative committee and then the Hall of Fame.
Awesome. And are you, were you one of the original 28, or did you come shortly after?
I'm thinking I was the year after them.
So
because I think I had tested for my certification in '84, and then I think they had that meeting that kind of spring.
Yeah.
And then I had finally got certified, I think it was like in September.
Awesome. What is the biggest change you've seen in athletic training?
I think it's more professional. You know, in the old days, it was kind of like, you know, you were in your shirts and shorts, and, you know, it was a little unprofessional at that time, and I think it's really, you know, more professional as a healthcare provider.
If you could change one thing in athletic training, what would it be?
Let's see. I think the biggest thing that I thought about was just that name recognition thing. We still have that issue. It's been there all along, you know, because everybody asks you, you know, what does an athletic trainer do? And we still have that problem. I mean, it's still there. I think we're recognized a lot more frequently than usual, but we're still not known as well as we should be. So I think if we had that recognition, like as an MD, DO, a PT, I think a lot of our problems would be gone. So that, to me, if we could change that, I think we would be.
Do you think we'll get to that point one day?
Oh yeah.
In the near future?
I think it will be there, but it's still going to take some time.
Any pearls of wisdom for younger members?
When I thought about that, I would just say be yourself. The other thing I would say is just be honest and be caring, and always put your patient first. It's always been my motto, and I just think if that's, you know, in your forethought and done, I think you'll do well.
I like that. What is one quote you are known for, or phrases you have repeated throughout your career?
I think the one thing that I'm known for is if somebody tells me it can't be done, by golly, it's going to be done. So that's been one thing that I've always been noted for, that if somebody had told me that it can't be done, it will be done.
I like that. What are your favorite memories from being involved in the OATA?
I'm thinking it's the camaraderie with all the people. That's probably my most memorable things, and especially with the Hall of Fame and stuff. I mean, I've kind of grown up with all these people, and a lot of them have mentored me, and I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, just, you know, the networking and things like that, that's helped me a lot.
Yeah. Has it been cool to see OATA, like, grow from 1985 to today?
Yeah, from those few group of people to, you know, to what it is now? Oh, definitely. It's been neat.
What is the biggest challenge you've seen or experienced in your career, either personally or for the profession overall?
I know that when I first started out, that at the University of Akron, and I hate to name names, but I started out when it was before Title IX and all that, and we were in separate facilities, and just being female was the tough part. We were in separate facilities, we had to start from scratch, and I was a student then. So I was the one, you know, that person that was telling me, no, this can't happen. We started in the locker room. I found a room. We opened up that room and made a facility. And I was a student then. I wasn't a head trainer, you know, and we ended up getting tables, you know, storage. We got supplies stuck into the guys, you know, athletic training room, got their supplies, you know, and it was just kind of neat how it evolved. We got Whirlpool, we ended up extending out, getting a Whirlpool room, and it was kind of neat, you know, where it was just challenging being female at that time. And then Title IX kind of came in, and I was like, what are you guys doing? You know, should be sharing that same site. So we ended up getting into the guys' athletic training facilities and ended up having to get in there, but it was like, it was kind of opening up a door and then learning new things too. It's
Yeah.
like, oh wow, there's STEM, there's all kinds of things over there we didn't get access to.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of neat that things that we didn't get to see that we did get to see later on.
Yeah.
So that was the challenge.
Well, along with that, how being a female in the profession, what has it been like seeing like females kind of explode in this profession?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I mean, it's amazing how many more females are in the profession now. And even when I first started out, I mean, there were just a few of them as mentors too. But yeah, it's neat, and it's nice that they have a foothold. And the guys are good, but I don't know. To me, females have a little more caring disposition and have a lot more to the profession. I think a little bit more organized, a little more. I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more to be said for that, and I just think it's nice.
What is the best part of being an athletic trainer?
I would just say that it's just a great profession. Where can you find a profession that you can work with athletes of all types, depending on where you want to work at, and you can go outside, you can stay indoors, you're working in all kinds of different weather, depending on, but I mean, you have all that variety, and to me, that's been the greatest part about it, is the variety of it. Your day isn't always the same, and to me, I like that. That's enjoyable for me.
Yeah. Awesome. What does it mean to be an athletic trainer to you?
I think at one time it was all-consuming for me. It did take over my life, which was not a good thing, but I suppose at the time it was a good thing. Probably made me who I was. It helped me gain patience and be a go-getter and get that drive to do things. But I think now that I've learned a little bit more, and I got to take time for myself and kind of take care of my family and things like that, I've learned to juggle and respect other things other than the job. That should not come first. But I don't know. The job is it's a job, and I think you kind of learn after a while how to pace that. It's just something to learn.
Looking back, would you change something about your career? If so, what and why?
Like I just said, all-consuming. If I could have looked back and said, oh man, I should have taken time for myself, because I know from when I retired, that was one thing. I was working 60, 70 hours a week, and I really didn't have to do that. But at the time, I felt that was necessary. And it was my nature, to make sure everything was done properly and everything. And when I step back, I'm thinking, man, I didn't have to do that, But that was just me and the way it was.
Yeah.
And now I know it didn't have to do that, but it's something you learn.
Yeah.
Just gotta figure it out.
Were you an author, creator, or inventor of something?
I know I did a research study with one of our team physicians. We did a research study that was published in the Clinical Journal of Sports Medicine. It was with our female athletes, adolescents, and it was just comparing the ACL laxity and the menstrual cycle. And that was kind of neat. We didn't really find too much of a correlation with that, which was, I suppose, with the female athlete in adolescence, I think it was kind of early to be happening. Then I did write an article. I was asked by Training and Conditioning an article about retirement and leadership, and that was kind of neat, kind of more insightful as you learn.
Yeah.
And then probably my notoriety that everybody was kind of like astonished is that I did write a 25-year report that I have kind of put out there to everybody to see. And the 25-year report was things that we did at Strongsville. From day one when I walked in the door, I kept track of everything that we did. So athletes' visits, we broke it down by every sport. We did all the tapings, all the rehabs, all the treatments, all the evaluations, all the referrals. I kept track of all that. I kept track of how many PABs, certified coaches that we did, how many CPR certifies I did, how many wrestling assessments we did for the weight athletes.
Yeah.
And then I put money values to everything. So each year that I did that, I did a report each year. I did a 5-year report, a 10-year report, 15-year report, 20-year report, and then I did my 25-year report. When I did my 25-year report, I put it out to not only my school system, which is what I did every year, and then those big reports, but this time, the 25-year report, I went to the OATA and said, here, this is what I've been doing all along. This is something I thought maybe you guys might be interested in seeing, because everybody's talking about reimbursement,
Yeah.
showing the worth of the athletic trainer. And they were all like, what do you mean you've been hiding this all along, you know? And I'm like, well, we've saved our school system in 25 years $13.4 million
Oh my
when you put that money value. And it wasn't like we oversold anything.
No.
I mean, I put very minimal values on stuff. And it was just like, so that's like
That's amazing.
But it was quite an eye-opener for everybody. We did a presentation on it and everything,
What-
so it was kind of neat.
What did the school district say when you would give that report?
Oh, they were always astonished because, I mean, it wasn't only just the money value.
Yeah.
Because we also said, you know, hey, to reduce liability risk, the PR that you get from it, and, you know, the risk of, reduced risk of just, you know, injuries and things like that. Plus, I've also added people to help me, and that was, we got 2 full-time athletic trainers at the high school, which we went from part-time people and gradually kept adding because those helped me with those reports.
Yeah.
And then I also had 2 other part-time people at the junior highs.
Wow.
So in our system, we had 5 athletic trainers. So, and that was at the high school, junior high level in Strongsville. So
Yeah, that's
those
amazing.
reports helped me get those people in place. So it was kind of neat, but that's what, you know, gave me that assistance to do.